Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to talk about setting boundaries and how it affects the victims after setting boundaries with the narcissist. So, setting boundaries have become very common as everybody says nowadays that set boundaries with the narcissist, set boundaries with toxic people, difficult people, but no one talks about what really happens after you set boundaries with this narcissist and toxic people. Because the truth is, after you set boundaries with toxic people and narcissists, things don't get calm all of a sudden. It actually get very worse. In this video, I'm going to talk about what boundaries actually are and why it is necessary and why narcissists hate them and what are the consequences of setting boundaries with a narcissist and what retaliation looks like, especially in narcissistic families. So, what boundaries really are? They are clear limits set around your time, your emotion, your privacy, your decisions, and your personal space. They are certainly not requests or negotiations, and they are not set to control the behavior of the narcissist, but they are set for protecting yourself, your emotional health, your self esteem. And it clearly states to the narcissist that they have no longer access to you or your emotion, and there will be consequences if they cross those boundaries. Narcissists feel entitled to your emotion, your time, and your life. So, when you set a boundary for a narcissist, they don't see it as a self protection, they see it as an insult because they are obsessed with control and feel entitled to your life. So, they feel challenged, offended, and exposed. And that is why narcissists often ignore boundaries, test them repeatedly, cross them intentionally, and then blame you for reacting. They want to prove that your boundaries are meaningless. So, whenever you set boundaries, they feel insulted and offended. So, the moment you set a boundary, the narcissist is likely to manipulate you, push the boundary to see if you are really serious about it, play the victim card, guilt trip you into removing the boundary, or provoke an emotional reaction out of you. This is why boundaries only works when consequences follow them immediately. Whenever the narcissists try to break your boundaries or violate your boundaries, retaliate as soon as possible so that they learn that it is not okay to violate your boundary or break your boundaries. Don't explain yourself, don't argue with them, don't give them any emotional reaction, just retaliate. Calm, consistent consequences works better with them than any kind of explanation. The narcissist feeds on emotional reaction, anger, fear, guilt, confusion, so don't give them any emotional reaction. When you stay emotionally detached, you start them off their narcissistic supply. If you don't set a boundary with a narcissist, you are labeled as codependent. And if you set a boundary, you are labeled as selfish, arrogant, rude, ungrateful, or even narcissistic. So there is no winning with a narcissist. So the goal is not to win. The goal is to protect your mental peace and your physical well-being while dealing with a narcissist. Setting boundaries becomes much harder when the narcissist is your parent because you live with them, you are dependent on them, they are dependent on you, and the society demands a blind loyalty towards your parent from you. So, when you set boundaries with the narcissistic parents, you often face their rage, their silent treatment, abandonment threats from them, increased criticism, name calling, increased humiliation, public humiliation, invasion of privacy, and decision made on your behalf without your consent. So, narcissistic parents feel entitled of your life and they want to control your life. So, when you set boundaries, they feel personally attacked and insulted. And if the narcissist can't break your boundaries, they send enablers or fly monkeys. They are the people who tell you to be the bigger person in the relationship. They tell you to set the boundaries and shame you for the same thing later. They play both sides and they create confusion on purpose. But really, they are on the side of the narcissist. In families, this often includes your siblings or other relatives or the other parent. They take turns pushing your boundaries until someone gets a reaction out of you. It's exhausting and it's intentional. So, here is what actually works. What you actually need to do to protect your boundaries from the narcissist. You need to confront the narcissist for their behavior in front of everyone. Don't over explain yourself. Don't justify your boundaries. Don't defend your boundaries. Don't engage with them emotionally. Totally disengage from them and reduce contact as much as possible. They will pretend that they don't understand what is happening, they don't understand what they have done. They will act confused, but that's all an act. Don't believe them. You don't owe them any explanation because you don't owe anyone any explanation for protecting your boundaries and protecting yourself. You need to understand one thing very clearly. The narcissist is never going to change. They want you to over-explain yourself so they can weaponize your words and use it against you. They will never respect your boundaries. They will weaponize them. But once they realize that they no longer can extract narcissistic supply from you or a reaction out of you, they will eventually move on to someone who is easier to control and get a reaction out of. And yes, people who don't know your story will judge you. They will say that you're overreacting or you're being too much, but let them do that. Boundaries are not about punishment. They are not about punishing the narcissist. They are even not about taking revenge against the narcissist. They're about protecting yourself. Boundaries says that I deserve respect and I am not allowing you to access me or my emotion unless you respect me. And once you see the reality of the narcissist, you can't unsay it. And protecting yourself becomes non-negotiable. And setting boundaries is the only way you can do that. If this video resonated with you and helped you in any way, please like and subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I will see you in the next video.